Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm David.
And we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. And tonight is our recap and feedback show for episode 13. I believe it was called My Word is My Bond. James Bond.
Yep.
Yeah. We are live on our website. If you're watching live, you can always hashtag STWDD or post a comment in YouTube, and we'll get to it. Tonight we have a special guest.
The girl is mine. Kelly, 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 Kelly,
Yes, E-Y. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Kelley Wentworth. Again this season. This is the third time we've had you on, isn't it?
I know. Are you guys sick of me yet, or what?
No, we are not.
Okay, good. Well then, I don't want to, overstay my welcome.
Yeah. Well, we had talked earlier in the season that we wanted to talk to you towards the end of the season, and then this whole second chances came up. So later on in the episode, we'll let you tell everybody why you want to be on second chances. Of course,
cool.
you've been all over Twitter and podcast world, so everybody already knows. But.
It's no surprise. But you know what? I saved one of the best for last, Dwayne. So here I am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. That's right. So she's our special guest, and we are excited. So Kelley, are you still watching the season? I mean, has Second Chances just totally consumed your life, and you can't even watch anymore, or are you enjoying the season?
Yeah, Second Chances has consumed my life, and you may have noticed that my voice sounds a little different than usual. That's because I'm kind of getting sick, but I'm not going to get sick. But this thing is so stressful, like there's so much to think about. So that's why I sound a little bit different than normal. I have been watching this season, yeah. I feel like last week I felt badly because I didn't really watch Tyler's whole tribal council. I just was on social media and doing all these things. But this week I watched with a fun group in Seattle, and I paid attention the whole way through. So I'm still, still watching.
Yeah, it's a little late for Tyler, but...
Sorry, Tyler. Oh, I felt so bad for him, though. I really did. Poor thing, like no one gave a crap. I felt so bad.
Well, I gave one.
I know, and he did the show with you guys. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. He actually asked CBS, can I do an exit interview with Survivor Talk with D&D, and he's the only one that did that. And Dan is just sick and tired of exit interviews, so he probably didn't want to talk to us anymore.
I think Dan's just sick and tired, period.
Yeah, I really do. I listened to his exit interview with Rob, because David said, you've got to listen to his exit interview with Rob. And oh my goodness, he was ticked, man. He was ticked off.
I usually don't listen to him, but I really wanted to hear what Dano was going to say today. And it was pretty interesting. That was the only one I had time to listen to, but it was interesting.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Probably better I don't say anything at this point.
Yeah, because you're wanting to get on second chances.
I need all the friends I can get.
That's like, 7 more votes you could get from Dan, so you want to keep that safe. That's right.
You got to chill out with Dan's awesome. Kelley said so.
Dan, just remember when my dad bought you a beer, like
there you go.
Oh God! Now I'm using my father to get votes. Oh my gosh, what does my life come down to?
I saw your YouTube video, very creative. Did you do that, or did someone else do that?
Well, I was in the video, but
so true.
Wow. Someone helped me edit it because I'm not good at any of that kind of stuff. So I did have some help with the editing, but
turned out really well. Got the whole American flag behind you.
Did you ask her if somebody else did that? She's reading a script in front of a flag with the USA buff on it. I think she knew what was going on in that. I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up. It's like you're playing a second vote when there's only 12 people voting or something. I don't know.
What I meant was, did she produce it? And she
yeah. I know what you meant.
Sorry.
It's all the same.
Did you know someone was recording you in front of a flag with the buff on saying those words? Did you know that was going on?
Mm-hmm.
It was my twin. Everyone has a twin. It just came out. I had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
David's already trying to pit you against me.
I know.
It's not going to work because I have this.
Kelley.
Every time I play it, she smiles and laughs, David. So tough on you.
She's not laughing near you. She's laughing at you.
Oh my gosh.
So you are still watching the season, although last week you were preoccupied.
Last week I was preoccupied because I was watching with a group of people. We have this new group in Seattle. It's about 10 people, and we are starting to watch the episodes together. It's really fun. So last week, this whole announcement came out, and what? What are you laughing at?
You're starting. There's 2 episodes left. You're starting to watch.
Listen, it takes a little time to get. Listen, Dwaine. It takes a little time to get these things sorted out. Okay.
There you go. Yes,
it started with 2. It's worked its way to 10. I have now. This group has invited me, and I'm been welcomed with open arms. So that's good. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Smarty pants.
I know. Last week, I don't know if you saw our show with Cass, but I did. As I called it. Oh, she's a fun guest, isn't she?
She's fine. How many drinks did she have before she came on?
I think she had 12 drinks before.
Why 12?
I don't know.
That's her lucky number.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, good. Yeah, anyway, sorry, go ahead.
But I had a migraine in my mouth, and this wonderful pill right here, this is called amoxicillin. Huge amount of it has cured me, and I'm going to take with my Monster drink, so I'm going to be overdoped.
Is that a good combination? Monster Energy and...
Absolutely.
What are we promoting here?
At least
I'm
not.
Last week I think we're promoting the fact that you and I are going to be posting this video when it's all over. I don't think you're anywhere conscious to do any such thing.
Okay, good.
It's amoxicillin. It's not the pain medicine anymore.
Okay.
So any initial thoughts? I have 3, so how about I just go ahead and start with one?
Yeah, you started out.
Yeah, this is why you don't tell people you have a hidden immunity idol.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, because she played it, and it was awesome. And I love the scene from next week on. Why didn't you tell us you had an idol? She's like, dude, you all voted for me. Because I'm smart, that's why. So,
yeah, because you still don't realize we're playing Survivor.
Yeah.
You still think we're playing some other game.
Yeah. Rodney thinks we're in a socialistic society, apparently.
Oh my gosh, I can't with Rodney anymore. He's funny, but holy smokes. I do want to say one thing about Carolyn and that idol. Has anyone had an idol that long without someone knowing and played it that late in the game? I think my dad had said something about that on Twitter today, and I didn't know if anyone had.
Well, the only Tyler
knew. Put us on the spot. No,
that's what I do.
Tyler said she found it day 2.
No, but if anybody else in another season has had an idol that long and not played it,
I don't think so.
I have no idea.
She had it day 2, and she played it day 35?
Well, according to Max, she had it 3 seconds into the season.
Yeah.
Remember, he said that she found it like 30 seconds after they landed. He said
That's crazy.
She told Tyler on day 2, I guess.
Right. Okay.
Because he at Ponderosa said she found it, or he heard about it on day 2, I think.
Right.
So she did tell one person, but, I mean, how cool is that he even kept it?
Yeah, I was going to say, that's crazy that he didn't feel in danger or go tell anybody to try and flush it or anything. I mean, I don't know if that was smart or stupid, but...
Well, it's like she said, he thought he played it as if the idol was partly his.
Yeah, that's true. An idol, unless the idol's yours,
exactly.
Don't count on it being played for you ever.
Right. What was that season where everybody was looking at the same time and one person found it and handed it to the other person? I don't remember which season that was.
I don't know. I don't remember.
It was a guy found it. They were.
Was it in the beginning?
Oh, Eric. Oh. Well, no, Eric won immunity. He didn't. That wasn't the idol.
I don't remember, but the guy found the idol while they were searching together, and he handed it to her, and it was her.
Oh, Eric found it and gave it to Andrea because it was Andrea's clue, and she was looking for it, and Eric I think, pulled it out of the ground.
One of our faves,
that was
Andrea.
Kara Mullen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Andrea, it's Belky. That's right.
I know. I love Andrea. She's adorable.
One answer to your question.
About this before,
I know. One answer to your question in our chat room, Mateo says that Yule had the God idol, the all-powerful idol, on around day 5 and never used it. So he actually had it for what, 34 days? Yeah.
That's crazy.
He actually used it mentally, strategically, but he didn't actually have to play the idol. So she kept it hidden for what, 30, possibly 35, 34 days.
Right. I think that's what your question was, though, right? Was how long has somebody kept an idol and kept it secret for that long?
Yeah,
and
that's
not
pretty
only
crazy.
did she do that, but she used it perfectly.
Mm-hmm. She did.
Perfectly. And much to
Mike,
Shireen's delight, of course.
Yeah, Mike K just joined our chat room, so we'll probably have an answer to that question.
Oh, good. Hey, Mike K. You know, we always need him in here.
That's right, Encyclopedia Mike. David, how many initial thoughts do you have?
Well, they won't be as long as yours, but it was a great episode. But the one thing that stuck out to me about this episode was Dan's dislike and disinterest in working with Mike. And I found it ironic at the end because I was talking to my daughters about it. Bailey is home from college, and she was watching it. And her comment when Rodney said he wanted the reward, she said, don't they just have to earn it? I'm like, yeah, that's a very basic answer.
Yeah.
But, I was talking to them about the end. I said, what's kind of funny is that Dan was so bent on not working with Mike and being mad at Mike for what Mike did, but because Mike tried that, had Mike gone through with it, Dan would never have gotten that advantage. And had Dan never gotten that advantage, I don't think he'd have been the target this week. I don't necessarily think he'd have had the target on his back because even though he said in the exit interview he didn't think that was the reason he was targeted, Carolyn says in the episode he's got that advantage and we need to take it out before he can use it.
Right.
So Dan's mad at Mike for backstabbing him when Mike actually didn't in the end. But if Mike had gone through with the backstab, Mike would have gotten the advantage and Dan would have never had a chance to get it and never would have had the target.
My mind is fried.
Well, is that pill affecting you already? I think the thing, well, and I guess, and this is not me putting down Dan in any way or saying he's a bad player or anything like that, but I do think that maybe he's more of an emotional player, and so maybe somebody else who could separate themselves would have thought about that, like, oh my gosh, I never would have gotten this if this hadn't happened and this hadn't happened. But I feel like with Dan, he just kind of seemed to hold a grudge since that whole situation and didn't even think about.
Yeah, I think Dan blinders too much. In a sense, he seemed very focused and bent on certain things. And even when somebody says, and you've been there, if somebody says, Kelley, we're voting for Missy, but you're going to be the decoy, and my first thought would be, why me? Why do I even need to be mentioned in this conversation? And
no.
That should have sounded bells off. Yes, that should have sounded bells off in Dan's head saying, why me? I could just see him getting upset, but that just kind of went right over his head. And he's like, that's fine. Let them think that. And then I'll go and never even thinking, if something comes up weird like an idol, I'm in trouble because they're actually voting for me. You never, because Carolyn had that happen early. She was the decoy, and that's what flipped her on Max, according to Max. She was
I've heard that.
And she didn't like that at all. So, sorry, Dan, but maybe that should have never been a signal to you that you should have done something different.
Yeah.
And how about the fact that Dan got mad at Mike for a game move? I mean, Mike was playing the game, and he's like, "You've shown yourself. You're selfish." Yeah, it's a game. I'm trying to win.
It is a game.
I'm trying to win this game.
Yeah.
For me.
There can only be one.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you take long enough on a puzzle, Probst gets tired of waiting for his hot dinner over there in the tent.
You guys, he was so pissed. He was so mad. Like, I could tell because I've seen him like up close and personal in those challenges. Right. He was so angry during that challenge. And I'm sure we'll talk about it more, but you could just tell he was like, get on with it. Like, even he in his head was probably like, this is ridiculous.
That was the funniest picture of the season when 1 hour passed and they're not even touching the table. They're all standing back looking at the pieces as they stand up and talk to them. Why can't you put us in order? We're right here.
Oh,
and
so
Probst goes, I'm fixing to hit y'all.
So if you want to get a reward, you better get with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
I know. And what did it spell at one point? It was like shaint or something. I don't even know what. It's not even a word.
They had wax and shaint were two of the words that were left over. They had other words, but those were left over.
That's right.
It's just David, okay. Anyway,
David, is this an M or a W?
Oh my God.
I'm just wondering.
I totally forgot about that.
I don't know. Turn it over as a W and let me look at it.
Oh, right. It's full.
I know.
I love
oh, my God.
It's a W. Shut up.
That was so funny. Oh, my gosh.
I have one more. Okay. Even Cochran could beat Rodney at a rope throwing contest. If Rodney and Cochran were doing a final two challenge and it was throwing a rope, Rodney would lose to Cochran.
If he was trying to prove that he was weak and unable to do anything, he really proved it well.
He's like,
Yeah.
it's because y'all won't give me something I didn't earn.
Oh my gosh. I've never heard anybody just complain so much or feel like they're just so deserving of something. Like,
this isn't fair. Yeah. It's like you're
Oh
playing
my
Monopoly.
gosh.
It's not fair. I don't have a Monopoly and y'all do. It's Monopoly. I'm not giving you a Monopoly. This isn't socialism.
All right. I'm sorry, Rodney.
All right. Any other initial thoughts before we hit previously on, which was basically a preview of the upcoming episode?
I've got nothing.
No.
David, any more initial thoughts?
No.
Do you remember, have you ever watched the old shows from the 70s like Columbo? Have you ever watched Columbo?
Are you asking me?
Well, I know David has. So have you, Kelley?
In the 70s, she wasn't allowed to stay up past.
No,
she wasn't even allowed in the 70s.
Not. Obviously not. I didn't watch it in the 70s either. But
Okay.
I watch it now.
I watch like the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
And like the
Brady
Wonder
Bunch.
Years.
I don't think Brady Bunch does it, but back in the 70s,
Okay.
the way they would do shows is they would before they got to the opening music, they would show you scenes that were going to happen in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So you'd be like, oh, I wonder when that's going to happen, and then you go, oh, he's the killer. Dadgum them, and stuff like that. But this is exactly what Previously On was tonight. Mike is next. Dan has the advantage. Carolyn has a clue. Rodney is mad at Carolyn. They foreshadowed every single thing that was going to happen in the episode on the Previously On. Okay, enough said.
And that's what I told you about a month ago as to why I don't like watching Previously On anymore.
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. They pointed out everything that just was about to happen in the next 45 minutes.
Yep. So, night 32, Dan is the Greek god of fire. I thought for sure his beer was going to catch on fire.
Wouldn't that have been interesting?
But he is the Greek god of fire. And boy, we get it right off the bat. He's really bitter towards Mike.
He is.
Like, Mike always gets to start the fire.
He's like the little kid that's like stomping around because he didn't get something or he didn't do it better than somebody else. It's just like throwing a fit every time.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get Carolyn talking about needing options. You know what we're finding out is Carolyn has been playing this game, and CBS hasn't been showing it. Because if you watch any of the Ponderosa videos, like with Tyler, you watch Tyler's Ponderosa video.
Yeah.
If you watch the 1/4 of it that he's talking and Shireen's not, then you get to hear a lot of him talk about how Carolyn was playing the game. And we're starting to get this more. Carolyn's playing a game, and she's been playing the game really well. And she's doing it now. She's like, look, I need options. She's playing both sides of the fence right now.
I like how she's focused enough that by the end of her confessional, she still says, if Mike loses, he has to go. Otherwise, he's an option for me to work with. He's winning challenges. You might as well work with him because he's not going anywhere for 3 days. Right. You might as well stick with him and consider that an option. But she's not focused on one path, on one final group. She seems open to listening to Mike, at the same time ready to get rid of Mike. And Sierra did the same thing. She talked about options, but in the end she said Mike has to go if he loses. So Dan's right that Mike is enemy number one for everybody. Yeah. But at some point, when the guy wins challenges, he's still there, and he's still a vote.
And Carolyn recognizes that, and she's playing with him. She even tells him about Dan's advantage. So she's literally playing both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But doing a good job of it, not like some people who just totally mess it up.
Now, it might sound weird, but I think Mike's in a great position because he has no one to trust and no one to backstab him. He knows that everybody is gunning for him. He has nothing to lose at this point. He knows his job, and that's to win challenges or find an idol. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to worry about smoozing anybody. He doesn't have to worry about trusting anybody or saying the right things to anybody. He could care less. He's going to dance around with his idols and his wins. It's almost like his path is more simple, whereas Carolyn is still flipping cards and still dealing with different people. Sierra and everybody's doing the same thing, but not Mike. Mike knows that those people want him gone, so he's got like 3 jobs. Win challenges, find idols, and make the fire and eat whatever he wants to do. Right. It's more almost less stressful, which allows him to mess with people's heads. It frees his mind up. His plan is so simple that it frees his mind up to start messing up people's plans and talking to him.
Well, one thing I noticed that he's not doing is he's not making everybody mad anymore. So he's still paying attention to the social game because, I mean, if he gets to the end, even if you win all the challenges, you still have to have people like you or they won't vote for you. So he's not like going around camp making enemies. He knows what his position is, and everybody knows what his position is, and he's okay with it, and they're okay with it.
Even on the reward, he's Mr. Social. Even on the reward, talking to Will, talking to Carolyn, everything, he's Mr. Social. You're right. It's no longer Mr. Negative because he doesn't need to be.
Right.
And he's still trying to, wheel and deal. Well, I know we'll get to the reward challenge, but, he's still trying to figure out ways. Like, he hasn't given up, so that's great. I've loved watching Mike the past few episodes. His back's been against the wall, and he's just...
Oh, I know. It's great.
He's just cruising. It's awesome.
Which is why I think he's going to win. I mean,
yeah,
he loves the season.
No, that's why Kelley and I picked him to win months ago.
I knew David was going to say that.
All right.
Oh, no. It's okay, Dwaine.
All right, whatever.
Moving on.
Day 33.
For that finale, we need that choir in the background to be singing again. So there's.
Uh-huh. Well, Kelley won't be able to talk to us after the finale because she'll be on a plane.
Yeah, I hope not.
Right. She'll already be making alliances.
Oh, God.
They're going to put them on 20 different planes, whatever it is.
Yeah. She's going to sneak a Survivor Talk shirt on the show and wear it.
I have it on right now. Look. The blue one.
I know you do. I know. It's nice that you have it ready for every show because, it's like when my parents come, we make sure we put up the picture that they bought us.
Right?
Another opportunity for Rodney to say those who win earn rewards should give it to him who didn't earn it or win it.
Rodney.
Yes. Poor Rodney.
I think he's going to go the whole season without winning the reward.
Oh, so do I. I think we're not.
Yep.
Rodney's going to be like, why is there a rope on my leg? Why can't I go any faster?
I like.
Go ahead, David.
You go ahead.
Oh, the thing that gets me is that I don't understand why he feels like he deserves it so much. I mean, I understand that he's hungry and he's like complaining and he's like, I've never gotten a reward, but it's like you win them, you deserve them, you fight hard to get them, and yeah, I know it stinks, but like, have we ever seen anyone complain so much about not getting a reward? It's just getting old. It's like, stop already,
Well, what we're not hearing is him say, I didn't know we weren't going to eat. I didn't know we were going to be on an island the whole time like jail. But I like Mike's response to Probst, and he says, well, it's tough to see him struggling, but I want to eat because I'm still playing.
Yeah.
I don't really care if he's struggling. That's good for me if he's struggling. Let him struggle.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing Cass said last week was she finds it kind of odd that he's complaining about not winning anything, but that's like since the merge. Before the merge, he got plenty of stuff. I mean, he got a steak and a humongous steak at the auction.
Yeah, at the auction, like 10 days before.
So, yeah.
Oh.
He needs to chill.
He needs to chill. Yeah.
He needs to get calm, cool, and collective again.
Well, they're playing for a helicopter ride to some surf and turf. And, but anyway.
Great challenge. I love the challenge.
I like Mike says win and then you can go.
Yeah.
How about winning? It's like, how about getting a job? Okay, forget it.
Yeah, but then they get ready to start, and Roddy looks over. Carolyn and Mike. Okay, on the same team again. Even with Will, they're gonna win this challenge.
Even with Manatee, they're gonna win.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is one heck of a fast-paced. Wait, puzzle just came.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Let's all race and break our legs so that we can spend an hour and a half on a puzzle.
That was such a mess. It was like painful to watch, honestly.
Yes.
I'm like, just lay them out on the grass, or the dirt, do something. Like if you're so confused, I mean, an hour to do that puzzle.
I know.
I paused it and stopped it because it was at the 30-minute mark when we saw Wax and Shaint. That's what they got after 30 minutes. And in their defense, I'm thinking how, Rodney's the perfect example of how they're tired and hungry and dehydrated and stuff. But still, Wax and Shaint after 30 minutes is what they had.
And didn't he say mix? He said something like mix waxing or something, or I don't know what he said.
Rodney said a reward that will fix wishing or something. And he was serious. He looked at them, and Dan looked at him like, really? You are deprived.
I know.
Yeah.
But Sierra did say fixin', and Dan said no.
That's
No.
right.
It's like, oh, come on.
Not enough letters. That's right, not enough letters.
Yeah, it's terrible. They would have had it.
Yep. David, I'm trying to find a question that came up for you.
Oh.
I can't find it. It was, where's Manchester United? Somebody on YouTube wants to know where your flag is.
Oh, yeah, I saw that over that way. So I didn't put it up because I'm facing this way this time. So I got a question. Who did you think deserved credit for solving the puzzle? Towards the end of the puzzle, who do you think?
Probst.
Because when I watched it...
Probst.
There's like a production person in the back, like with some cue cards, like, fix it.
Great answer. That is actually the winning answer. But according to the edit that we saw, great answer. According to the edit, who do you think? Because to me, they were pointing at one person, who was making the facial expressions. She looked like she got it, and she said it. Yeah. She moved around the table. But if you go back and watch, at the end of it, when I watched, Will was dancing and he said, "I told you, I said so." Something to that effect. I told you. So I went back and watched it again, and when I did, Carolyn came around like she thought of something, and then Will said, "It looks like Will touched the table and said, with all the fixins." Almost
I
as
missed that.
Yeah, go back and watch it. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like he touched the table at every point and said, with all the fixins, as if he got it right then. And then Carolyn looked at him and gave him a thumbs up, right at that last second. And then they threw all the blocks down. So I'm like, why didn't we see Will get all that credit? Because it really looked like he solved it. So good on him. He was hungry.
Right, David.
Yeah, he was hungry. I didn't catch that either. I'll have to go back and watch. I'm curious now.
All I caught was Rodney saying to Sierra, "Do you think Probst is giving us clues?" I don't know. I'm not even listening to him.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah, the chat room's confirming. Tina and Mike both said Will, and then Mike said that an extra video, Will says he figured it out. Right. So, that kind of stepped, when he started celebrating, it kind of like, wait a minute, he's saying that he got it. Listen to me. So that's why the only reason I went back and watched it again.
I like Probst says, I say the same 200 words over and over and over and over again. I go to therapy because I say them so much.
That was
Y'all
so
idiots, get the puzzle done.
I can't smile like this any longer. Please solve the puzzle.
You get this with this with this. Complete set. Everything you need. Yeah.
So now my other question. Oh, go ahead. But after the challenge is, why didn't Will give up his reward to his buddy? Because he's the one that promised last time he would give it up to his buddy.
I thought he was.
Why was all the focus on Carolyn? Yeah.
I don't know. Come
on, tell us.
You don't know.
I don't know. I feel like everyone's just kind of thrown Will to the side. Like no one's even really paying attention to him.
So congratulations, Mike and Carolyn. You won the reward. Oh, and Will. And you won the reward.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's in all the action all the time. So
that is a good point because at the last challenge, he didn't get to play, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So he was like, man, if I had gotten to play, I would have been.
I know.
This one, it was like
he solved the puzzle.
Over at Will and said, "What about you, Will?"
See, that's why I think he was. I think at some point he must have been asked, or he asked in general. I mean, surely he didn't go right to Carolyn. I mean, obviously she was stressing over it, but I think she was led to that point.
No, for some reason, Rodney's only mad at Carolyn because he and Will are sitting in their double thrones. And he ain't mad at Will.
Well, I can also see that Will hasn't gone on that many rewards, and he flat out said that she's been on a reward like every other day, which is probably not exactly true. But he did say that in the next scene back at camp.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Rodney? This is Survivor, and I'm not giving you my reward either.
That's right.
Sorry.
She'll give you a cold, but she ain't giving you a reward.
I'm not giving you a reward. I'm so sorry.
You a sore throat, but
wait, that would imply something like.
No. Sorry.
No, he would drink after you in the same cup is what it is.
Okay.
Kelly, in all seriousness, you got to be careful because you wouldn't want to get out there and medical say, no, you're sick. We don't want you to.
No, I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm not that sick. I don't know. It's just this little tiny head thing, but I'm fine.
I got some meds that'll help you out.
Okay. You gonna mail them to me? Overnight them?
And I know some guys in Colorado.
Okay.
All
Good.
Hey, we got
Got it.
Mateo in the chat room has a good comment. Says definitely think the reason Rodney was only mad at Carolyn because Rodney is obsessed with his mom and Carolyn seems like a mother figure to him.
Whoa, who is that? Psychiatrist who?
Mateo in the chat room. That's
Mateo
cool.
just called him out. Oh my gosh.
Applause to Mateo. Way to go. That was awesome. It's mama issues.
Oh,
That's right.
sad.
Love it. We have somebody on our Facebook group that's going to be so mad at us for this little portion of the show.
Oh,
She
no.
loves Rodney. Like
Who's gonna be mad?
almost uncomfortably so she loves him so much.
Oh, uh-oh.
You know,
We don't just wait. We're not saying we dislike Rodney.
No, not at all.
we're making fun of him.
Well, listen, we're just making observations.
He
That's
keeps
right.
tossing the ball up. We can't do anything but spike it.
Yeah.
He keeps tossing it
What
at
else
us.
can we do? Well, you know, Probst, the only reward I really wanted was for my birthday. But it is, you know, it's like I haven't been on one yet.
But it's 3 days after my birthday, but I still want it. So.
Yeah, my mom gives me presents for 7 days, so they could give me another reward.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so Carolyn trying to decide. You know what, Carolyn, you should have decided before the game, or before you won. Then it wouldn't have been an issue, you know. But she made that a big deal. It didn't have to be a big deal.
Well, I bet that Probst was asking more questions than we saw. Like he was definitely, pushing them to say something and turn it into something
Right.
more than it probably initially was.
Yeah, what are you thinking right now, Carolyn? I mean, what would it take for you to do that? If it was somebody other than Rodney, would you consider doing it? So I'm sure his questions got him there.
It's like, no, wait, y'all don't leave yet. Carolyn, can you just sit over for a second and look over in that direction? Carolyn, why are you staring at Rodney? Oh, because you just told me to. No, reply differently, please.
Do over. Come on.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Okay. The most I don't even know the right word, but what was she thinking? I hope he doesn't take it personally. Hello? You know Rodney.
Yeah.
You're his mama figure. He's taking it personally.
Mama C. Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's right. All right, on the reward. Apparently, riding a helicopter is better than helping little orphan kids. Because Carolyn now says this is the greatest reward ever.
Okay, you owe her votes now for that.
Forget the kids in the orphanage. That wasn't as fun as this. No, but seriously, this is the best reward ever.
Yeah. Well.
Oh my goodness. That's what I thought of as soon as she said it. This is the greatest reward ever.
I think out there, every time you get a reward, it's the greatest reward ever.
Best one.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's
matter
true.
what it is.
What she should have said is, "This is the best reward I've been on in the last 2 days."
Yeah. She had, you know what though? She has been on a lot because she was on that yacht, and then she had the kids and the helicopter. Yeah, she. You know what? She has gotten to do a lot though.
She's living it up.
She
That
is.
is
This
totally
is like
unfair.
a vacation.
That
Mama
is
see, mama
unfair.
do. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
And
is
she has an
unfair.
idol. This just isn't right.
I think she should get taxed more because she's had more.
Hey, in our chat room, Rachel said we should pull some cash together to buy Rodney a birthday present. I suggest a steak-shaped squeaky toy.
My dog has one of those.
Okay,
I'll send it to him.
I honestly went and looked for a baby whining sound effect.
Oh no! Did you find
And
one?
I found a lot of them, and then I thought, wow. When I actually listened to it, I thought,
Yeah.
wow, that's really mean. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, yeah. It is kind of.
I didn't want Rodney coming and finding me next time I went up to New
I was
York.
going to say, Rodney tweets from Alabama. I'm looking for him. I'm looking for him.
Yeah, he's gonna. You know, there's a Survivor Talk shirt going around the current survivors that Shayna
I know.
entered into a drawing and Shayna won it. And,
No.
and so Rodney would be like, "Oh, it's these guys, is it?" All right. So Mike's trying to talk final three, and Carolyn's playing along. Will, on the other hand,
Oh my God! I can't. I
Could you
can't.
entertain a thought of final three with me? Will's response: "No, I'm eating meat. What are you talking about?" You're
Has
like
this
my
man?
biggest threat.
Has he seen Survivor? Oh my God.
He's got Danitis. He's so focused on one path. No, I've been told you're enemy number one. That's all I know, buddy.
Man, I'm just drinking this tequila. You to heck with you.
Why didn't he just say yes? Like,
I
just
know,
say
exactly.
yes and move on. Like, why did he have to make it such a... Oh, I just didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Hey, I go back to Ghostbusters on top of the building. The next time a demon asks if you're a god, you say yes. Conversation.
Just say yes.
I've never seen Ghostbusters.
You what?
I've never seen it all the way through.
Kidding.
I haven't either.
Kelly's like, I don't even know what Ghostbusters is, but I'm gonna laugh with you.
No, I don't know. I haven't seen it all the way through either. I'm sorry.
There you go. So we don't get that reference, but I assume
it was spot on.
There's a few dozen people out there that did.
A few dozen, right? All right. Please don't let Rodney beat me in this game. And then all of a sudden, all the bad Rodney talk goes, and Will's like, "Wait a second, Rodney's my best bud. What are y'all doing this for?"
He's getting a little crazy, but yeah, he's still my friend. He's the one that tells me what's going on.
Oh yeah, he did participate in the Rodney bashing, didn't he?
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
I was surprised by that. All right, and then of course Mike says what Kelly said earlier, or Kelly said what Mike said. Mm-hmm. Only player in history of Survivor to try and guilt you into going on reward. I'm sure that's probably not the case, but... And like you said, Kelly, Probst is probably instigating that a lot, too.
He probably is. It's just that he's done it a couple times. It's not like one time. It's like now this is his new normal, to just keep, begging and bossing them around.
We're getting a little bit more at the challenges, where it usually says, all right, we'll pick your spots and get ready, and then it cuts. The audio cuts, we just see nothing. Now we're getting little Probst comments afterwards, like, all right, let's do this.
Right.
And just it seems like every episode or every other episode we're getting these extra little comments from Probst.
Right.
And my thought is, and since you've been there, it seems like I would think that once he explains that and goes through it, as soon as he says, all right, let's draw for spots, he walks up to you guys and says, all right, any questions? Any questions about the challenge? Is that what he does?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he walks straight to him, but it just seems kind of so friendly and casual now that he says, all right, let's get to it. It's just little things I'm noticing like they're adding this time.
Hey, Kelly, is there any other thing that happens before the challenges, that insider info that would be interesting that you want to share?
What can I say?
Well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
No, yeah, I mean, as soon as he tells you like what's going on, he does go over it a little more slowly. Because I always thought, like when I was always watching on TV before I was on the show, I thought, gosh, he tells them so fast. Like I didn't even comprehend exactly what they're going to have to do. So you get like a couple minutes to like, almost
that's why we get pictures. We get the pictures to show us what he's saying. So we don't have to listen to him.
Yeah.
What, they don't show pictures while they're doing it? I thought that was... Here's a video of the Dream Team.
This is how you do it correctly. Thank you.
Yes.
This is what the puzzle says. Hey.
Yes, that's right.
God, they may start doing that.
How do the schoolyard picks go? How do they pick who's going to do the picking? Or did you ever see that?
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to...
From what I've been told, they draw rocks. And whoever draws the two...
rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Let's do a little rock. Ready?
Oh, really?
Ready, Kelly?
Yeah.
Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah! Scissors.
Oh, you got
What
us.
do you have, David?
He had paper, too. I saw him.
I'll have
What's
paper.
with the sideways paper? Since when does paper stand up on its side?
Did I do
Uncuttable paper, because your scissors wouldn't cut my paper. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Somebody on
It's
YouTube
Marvel
is
paper.
bound to be onto us here in a minute. I didn't tune in to... I tuned in to hear about Survivor.
Sorry, we're doing a reward challenge and we're picking teams.
Yes.
Kelly and I are on the same team. We're the paper team, and Dwayne's the scissor team. Okay.
Yes.
Your voice, that was great.
Back to the show now, please. I was going to ask you something else. Only player in history, the reward.
So Mike feels his mind getting sharper. Will feels his body waking up. This should be interesting. Oh, Mike.
Right. Sorry.
He is alive. That's right.
Will's like, wow, it's been like 34 days since I felt this before. This is pretty awesome. What's in this wine?
Remind me after we go off the air to make a comment right about this.
Oh God. Okay.
But I like
right after that. Hold on. Right after that, they do the new Fiat commercial. You know where the Fiat gets bigger and more powerful?
Wait, are you saying Will's a Fiat?
No, forget it.
I thought Will was more like a Prius.
Okay. I'm not touching that. Will's a Prius. Wow. All right.
I like Mike's last comment was, just do me a favor and don't let Rodney beat me. Just get rid of him before. I don't think it had any effect, obviously, but I like this comment that he's putting in somebody's head that that's not who we want to lose to. If we're gonna lose, don't lose to him of all people.
Right. Yeah. All right, we do have a question before we get back to camp.
Is it from Twitter?
It's actually from YouTube. From YouTube. By the way, y'all that are watching, if you want to hashtag STWDD on Twitter, and we'll see that also. All right, so here's the question from Proud Nurse.
Oh, Proud Nurse.
Have you guys listened to Dan's exit interview or read the exit interview he did with Cochran? I was dumbfounded by his lack of self-awareness. He blames his edit, but his word for word make it abundantly clear that his edit is spot on.
Okay.
Now, Proud Nurse, I did not do the Cochran one. I did listen to and read the Rob Cesternino one, and he did seem a little...
Okay, so my dad did text me and say that he did read that interview, and one thing Dan said is that Jeff Probst told him that he is the most interesting person he's come across in 30 seasons.
Really? He said that to Cochran?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Probst said that to Dan, and Dan said that to Cochran?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, interesting. How about you, David? Did you read that, or?
No, I was. It's been one of those weeks at work, and I still had soccer practice. I did hear Rob's exit interview, and get that part of it, like I was telling you about.
Yeah, it was funny because I was chatting with Rob earlier, and I said, good interview with. And he goes, yeah, he's a charmer. Mike has an answer. Mike,
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I just saw it. Go ahead.
Mike's answer is 2 different color rocks. Those are captains, and then the captains pick. So that's how they do.
Okay.
The schoolyard pick.
I guess.
Thank you, Mike Holloway.
Yeah, thank you, Mike Holloway. I guess when we did it, I'm thinking more of like when we did the duels, I guess, or the Hero Arena. Mm-hmm. We did like one person just randomly would go against another person, do rock, paper, scissors.
I remember that because they actually showed us that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually showed us that one.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get back to camp. Rodney and Sierra are laying around and complaining. Well, Rodney's complaining. Sierra's like, do we have to talk about this? You know. And Dan, you know what? Hey, kudos to Dan. Either they just haven't been looking for this fruit, or production conveniently dropped a little bit of fruit.
Yeah, we had a question earlier.
Okay.
Does Kelley think that was actually planted there? Because he did cut it off of a bush.
Okay, I don't know where that fruit came from, but I'm going to tell you that I was on that beach, and my dad was on that beach, and all these people this season have been on that beach. And have you seen one piece of fruit this whole time? There was no fruit when we were out there. So unless that was like a mile away, like by the swamp, by a rock,
because
I don't
Dan
know where that came from.
A mile a day, yes.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to put on my tinfoil buff and wonder if Rodney threatened the producers by saying, I'm about to walk out of this place because I'm not getting any food. Because it was funny because when Dan was shown reaching behind the bush to find the fruit, as if a little producer was over there going,
I saw a fingernail.
I saw a fingernail. Oh my God.
Actually, what I saw was, you know those little stickers that say, you know, produce number 4385? I saw that on the bottom of one of them.
Inspected by.
Inspected by.
So they stuck a green rope into the fruit so he could cut it off.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I don't know, you guys. All I know is that a lot of people have been on that beach for a lot of days, and there had not been any sort of fruit found.
And Dan finds a green bush with little fruits on them.
These weren't just little bitty ones. These things had been growing for a while.
Yeah. I don't know.
And he just, after 34 days, all of a sudden this fruit is discovered.
And the blood versus water too. Like, did you see us having any sort of fruit? No, there was no fruit. So I don't know where that came from, but that was really funny.
The other fruit. We didn't have no fruit.
We didn't have fruit. We didn't have anything. Those beaches were bare. There was nothing.
Beaches.
They didn't even have bananas. Okay?
No bananas.
Or coconuts, really.
Meanwhile, Tyson's leaving hundreds of coconuts out on the floor with holes in them where he poked them and drank all the juice out of them.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Well, somehow, two very nice fruit.
Two very nice plump fruits were found.
Just showed up, and all of a sudden, they did look good. I mean, it looked...
It looked like honeydew.
Like giant pears, I thought, because the inside looked like white, like a pear or something, the way they're eating them.
Oh, man. It made my mouth water. I tell you what I love, man. I love some watermelon. But what I hate... I love watermelon, okay? Yes, we're getting a little off track of Survivor. Sorry.
I'm going to write a comment right now.
Way not to address something. Good job.
I did not tune in to listen to how you like your watermelon. I tuned in to hear about Survivor. Well, if I had been out on the beach and I had been Rodney and I had asked for fruit, I would have asked it for it to be pre-cut in a plastic container.
He probably did.
Because it's a pain in the butt to cut up watermelon, and I never get as much, and it's all messy. Yeah. But if you give me a plastic carton, I'll eat the whole thing. There's been a watermelon sitting on my counter for 4 days because I won't.
You know what we didn't see? We didn't see the scene where Carolyn comes back and says, "Where's the hammock?" And Dan says, "Well, we got fruit, but it's all gone." So we bartered your hammock, for some fruit. Rodney wouldn't give up his chairs. Rodney wouldn't give up his throne chairs for more steak, but we gave up the hammock for fruit.
No, here's what happened. Carolyn comes back. Says, it was great. Everything was wonderful. But we noticed that we had a little menu, and on it said fruit melons. But they weren't there. I wasn't sure why they weren't there.
They were marked out, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason, production didn't give us our fruit melons.
They've been 86'd. I'm sorry. They're not around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But we couldn't have eaten them anyway. We were so stuffed.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so food brings them all closer together, and now Rodney's ready to go. Just get a little fruit melon in him, and he's ready to go.
I thought it was kind of neat that the connection back at camp was a blue-collar connection. All blue-collar still at camp. So these people have known each other for 35 days, 34 days. So,
you know what I find very annoying, David?
What, did I keep pointing out that I said blue-collar?
Incredibly annoying is that you kept saying blue-collar was going to have the most people left in the game, and by golly, they do. It's so annoying. How about
dim apples? How about it? Well, we just lost one, so now it's 3-1 to 1.
Man. All right, day 35, and apparently Carolyn likes to sing about tree mail. It's tree mail time. Okay, well, that went over like a lead balloon.
That's because you weren't as high pitched as she was.
All right. It's tree mail time.
You have to do something to keep yourself entertained out there.
Yes. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I thought you were insulting me.
I wasn't.
You got to do something, Dwaine, because this is really bad.
You pause. You got to do something to keep yourself awake. Out there. Yeah, out there. That's what I was talking about.
Yes, perfect example of how CBS would have edited that now, see? Kelley meant it one way, but CBS would have edited it so that she insulted me and everybody would hate Kelley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kelley, did you happen to read my little example of how CBS changes edits on our
I did, and then I kept getting like dinged because there were a lot of comments on that, so I stopped reading.
Way too many comments on it.
It got a little off topic, but
yeah. I tried to bring it back in, but couldn't you see that scenario take place?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I wish you would just
absolutely.
put in there, I was there, this happens. Just,
You know, I didn't want to get in the middle of all that
I
mess.
understand. You
A lot of people seem to be like, ooh, like I don't know what was going on. So I just kind of,
Yeah. Well, we were trying, the last couple weeks, the Facebook group has been a little more difficult to administrate. But we're toning it down.
I picked the perfect time to go off Facebook for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David's like, I'm not going to be on Facebook today, so let Dwaine handle it. But anyway, yeah. That was a perfect example of how CBS can take what you say and all they had to do is show a different person after you say it, and they're telling us this is who Kelley said it to, when you could have been saying it to somebody else.
It's very true. I mean, yes, they can edit it, but at the same time, there are certain things you say that you have to be held accountable for.
Well, of course.
That's all I'm going to say. I mean, but they can't edit it. I mean, yeah, it can be edited. It's a television show, people.
Right.
It is a television show. They need ratings. Like, there's a lot you don't see. So
they're telling a story like Tony told us after his season that he found that idol days before he went out in the water.
I bet he did.
To those folks.
Yeah, I bet he did.
The way they showed it, it looked like he was just coming back from finding that idol.
The same thing happened with Keith on our season. They, when they found it in his bag or something, or I don't remember exactly what happened, but that had happened days before it aired on the TV. But the way that the story had played out, it didn't fit. So
see, I always imagine he came back to camp and said, "Do y'all know what this is?" And then, but they said, "No, we can't have that. Go put it in your bag and let them find it in your bag."
I don't know what games y'all been playing, but I ain't never seen nothing like this.
Y'all need to quit hiding these things out in the dirt, or people are gonna step on them and break them.
Oh,
when
Keith,
I find
bless
stuff,
his heart.
when I find stuff, I hope he makes it back on the show because I love impersonating Keith.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget.
Oh boy.
I don't know about this sub-alliance stuff.
What's a sub-alliance there, Dwaine?
Sub-alliance.
I've heard of a battleship alliance, but never a sub-alliance.
I'm just a firefighter.
That's right. You got a fire now. Now I know how to put that out now, but
exactly.
I don't know about this idol thing.
Now we're on season 31. Let's
okay, sorry. We got to go back. We gotta move on.
Sorry.
So I'll take it from here. Get us back into the episode.
Thank you.
I'm having a lot of fun.
I was having a blast. If Mike wins, Dan says we have to turn on each other, and this cannot happen, which means it will happen. That Mike's going to win. So thanks, Dan, for spoiling that for everybody. I like, though, what Mike tells Sierra. And to me, this is a Boston Rob Redemption Island moment. Mike tells Sierra, now look, the only people that Dan can beat are Rodney and Will. And what Mike doesn't say is, hey, I'm still in the game too. But by the way, the only person Dan's going to take to the end are those two guys sitting over there. He's not taking you, and he's not taking Carolyn. It's as if he's trying to help Sierra win the game and get to the end. I love how he didn't say anything about himself. He was doing it in a way to help Sierra. And I thought that was brilliant. It made Sierra focus on Dan, Will, and Rodney as the three people she needs to break up and get rid of. I love that moment. I thought it was great. What are y'all? I know. Is that a plan that y'all did to do that together? That's so funny. That's so funny.
I was having a lot of fun over here, David, and you just ruined it. All right.
Are y'all finished texting each other in private now so we can get back to
the By the way, Proud Nurse, I see what you wrote on YouTube, but I would rather you give me an exact quote because I don't want to just take, and I know y'all can't see what she wrote, but she's saying that Dan said something about Shireen in the Cochran interview, but I'd rather see the actual quote than just take it for that because I don't
screenshot it, girlfriend.
Yeah, screenshot it.
Or guy.
Well, actually type it so I can see it. So. All right. Woo. That was
okay.
funny.
So what were you saying, David?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you said, David, but I'm sure it was very, very informative. And that person on YouTube who hates it when I get off topic, it's about time somebody talks about Survivor on this show.
Oh, I'm sorry, David.
I should not have drank a Monster right here.
A Monster or a Monster?
A Monster drink. Monster drinks.
Or is it Wunster? We don't know if that's an M or a W. So.
Yes. It's a restaurant. It's a restaurant.
And I'm David. Good to be here.
All right.
Okay, back on track. No, but okay, again, sorry, David. What were you saying? Sum it up for me.
I was wondering if I was muted because all I was getting was heads bobbing to one side or the other, and it's like they were like, are we blocked or something? Did I freeze frame or something? Because I am making an excellent point here, and these two people are just falling off their chairs.
But see, Kelley and I had this connection, and she knew what I was doing, and I knew what she was doing, and it just happened.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to keep the podcast on track.
Oh, come on.
David, that's why I'm asking you to just, I need you to just sum it up again.
Yeah. Come on, David.
David,
okay.
Luckiness is not appreciated.
The point I was trying to make.
Okay, yes, I'm sorry.
And it stems back from earlier in the episode where Mike has only a few tasks that he has to concentrate on. The rest is where he can mess with people's head.
Right.
Dwaine, if I see your face move one more inch, I'm going to call through this camera. But anyway.
I'd like to see that.
But what he brings to Sierra is he points out to her that she's not in Dan's final three. She's not in Rodney's final three. She's not in Will's final three. Dan's going to take Will and Rodney. He's not taking Sierra. So he's almost pointing from an outsider's view. He's telling Sierra, you can't win against Dan because Dan's going to take the other two guys. You are not in his final three. So, and almost as if Mike's saying, don't think about me. Think about them.
Wait, are you talking about when he was talking to Carolyn and Sierra?
No, this was before the challenge. This was before the immunity challenge. Or at least that's where I have it in my notes. It's right after they get tree mail, where he tries to sing like Dwaine. But anyway, he's talking to Sierra just to say that, hey, Dan can only beat Rodney and Will. He's not taking you to the final. And I just thought it was neat that that's something that Rob did in his Redemption Island season, where he was almost acting as if he was trying to coach his tribe to help them win. Because he told them, I can't win, but I want one of you guys to win. And to me, this is kind of what Mike was doing. He was stepping back and saying, you need to look at what you're working with here. Don't worry about me. Look at this. And I thought that was brilliant, that he kind of stepped out of her line of sight and just pointed her in another direction. And it got her thinking. And she mentions Dan's advantage, because apparently she knows about it too. But at the end of her line, she still goes back to saying when Mike loses, he has to go.
Yes.
So I was impressed by that. Of course, that's also super edited, I'm sure. But at the same time, I liked how Mike just did that. He got her thinking about somebody else other than him.
Right. That's a very good point, David. And I'm sorry that I upset you.
You didn't upset me. I was confused.
That was what we were trying to do.
Yes. Oh, I know you very well, David. And there was a brief moment there where you were. All right. Here is Mike K.
I thought you were just paying me back for not laughing at your jokes all the time. So anyway.
Mike K. put it on YouTube, the exact quote. Now, what happened was Proud Nurse said on YouTube that in the Cochran interview that Dan called Shireen the devil, which I just read the quote. He didn't actually say to Cochran, Shireen is the devil. So I'm going to read to you, which is why I wanted the actual quote. Here's the quote. Dan, in my world, the way I view things, there are 4 things in life that are earned, not given: trust, respect, family, and forgiveness. There's gameplay and there's something else. Where the line is between the two, I don't know. But I felt like at that moment at the auction with the letters from home that Mike crossed the line. There was no forgiving him, and it just went away. It just went away. I don't know why. I was reading from the stream, and it just went away. Just a second.
Oh, sad.
I'm going to have to go to YouTube. David, are you on YouTube by any chance?
David's sleeping.
Oh, yeah, probably.
No, I'm in the chat room. No.
Dadgummit. Okay.
I need to go on YouTube because you're right here in front of me.
Well, the problem with going on YouTube is it's going to be it's going to try to play the video while I'm doing it. Y'all, I'm really sorry about this, but my stream thing just went off and I don't see it anymore. So, just a second. Come on. Sorry, y'all. I will edit this out.
Okay.
How far are we in? 1 hour. Okay.
You're fine.
Okay. Here's the quote.
Well,
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Here's the quote, David.
Way to go. You chased her away. That's good.
Yeah, I know. But I felt like at that moment at the auction with the letters from home, Mike crossed the line. There was no forgiving him because he didn't earn it. He didn't try. He just kept getting more and more angry with me because I wouldn't work with him. And then he said we had to align with Shireen, and I'm like, she is the devil, but I am not making a deal with the devil. So what Dan was doing was Dan was quoting something he said in the game to Mike. He didn't actually tell Cochran Shireen's the devil. That's not
right.
That's not
he
what
was
did.
he was saying that, referencing that she was the worst option.
In the game.
Go that way. In
Right.
the game, yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to say that he called her the devil in the Cochran interview because he was quoting himself what he said in the game.
Okay.
So that's just my thought on that. Okay. All right, let's move on. Back at camp. Oh, wait, no. Immunity challenge. Sorry about that, y'all. Immunity challenge. Well, guess who's going to win? It's kind of obvious, right? It's kind of obvious who's going to win. Grappling hook to earn the right to do the ball puzzle. My question is, do you think it was as close as they led us to believe? Because I honestly, even though I knew Mike was going to win, I wasn't so sure that Mike was going to win that I wasn't nervous every time that stupid ball rolled out of the hole.
I think it was that close because they couldn't really give you a far back shot of Sierra doing well because then you really wouldn't have noticed where the ball was. So I think they had to give you the close up, but I wanna hope it was that close. So yes, I'm gonna say I believe. Truth or false? I believe it was true.
I believe. Do you choose to believe, Kelley?
False.
Oh.
I don't think it was that close. I mean, like you said, I think that they could have, well, I don't know, maybe they couldn't have zoomed in because they were, maybe like 3 people apart?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they could have used Dream Team footage.
But just to further Kelly's point from earlier, you notice Mike and Sierra were trying to get their balls through the holes in the middle, and way down the way there's this other table flying all over the place. Poor Will never even got shown trying to work his maze. But you see this puzzle way over here, this maze way over here moving. You're like, what about Will? I think they showed one time where it fell through the hole.
Yeah, and poor Dan. I suck at life.
Oh God, dude. Oh.
Every
Now,
time.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. The Mike Case said that there's an extra video of Sierra saying that says it was in the center, but it fell in the hole. So her ball may have fallen out actually before the end, which would have revealed that Mike was going to win.
Oh, yeah. See, so.
Well, little editing.
Editing. It's a tricky thing.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. All right, so Dan says it unbelievable, and you know what, right? You know what, Dan, you're right. It is unbelievable. I really honestly hope, just for the story of the game, if for nothing else, that Mike fights his way to the end and ends up winning this thing. Really do.
I know.
So now I think maybe I'm reading more into this than was there, but I like to think that this was Mike again being smart in that Mike's got nothing to lose. He's got the idol. But when they get back to camp, he says, all right, you guys get the fire stoked, and I'll go get some water. What a great way to separate yourself from the tribe in case an idol has been put back into play, and he gets a chance to go look for an idol by himself. Do you think they would have put an idol back into play after the last 2 were played?
That doesn't. It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't know. But why wouldn't they show? They didn't show him looking for it.
Well,
no, they didn't. Yeah, if he doesn't find it, they might not want to.
There definitely will be an idol in play. Well, I mean, when can you play the last idol? 4?
The next tribal council.
Yeah, so I wonder if there's one more at camp now that they're all gone.
Yeah, maybe. I think if they just showed him getting it, it would. I don't know. Or her showing him not getting it, it would have been. Well, still, he had the immunity necklace. So it didn't really matter.
Maybe they're afraid that if they put an idol out there, Will or Rodney might accidentally find it.
Really, though? Really?
Well, Dan did find the melons, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave it to Dan. All right, let's see. Back at camp, and this was hilarious. Well done, Mike. It's kind of like, I'm not really happy for you, but.
It's like shaking hands after an extra inning loss.
Right. Yeah. So what do you think about this? Do you think Mike is, well, it actually kind of feels like Mike is believing them about their Dan comments until he talks to Dan.
Which part?
Well, it just seems like, I mean, okay, here's what I'm thinking. Mike's sitting at camp. Dan's not there. So who are y'all thinking? And they're like, oh, Dan. Why does Mike even believe them? I mean, why would they tell him anything? But it seemed like he believed them.
Well, but wait, when they got back from the challenge, that's when he went to Carolyn and Sierra. Wait, I think I'm confused on my timeline. No.
That was a little later. He went to Carolyn.
Okay.
Carolyn. Okay, when they first got back, Dan and Carolyn are Dan is at camp, and he's like, so who are we voting for? And Carolyn's not there. And they all go, and Roddy's like, well, who do you think I'm voting for?
Yeah, okay.
And Mike's not there either, so Mike didn't hear that part.
Right.
They come back, and Carolyn's at camp, and Mike is there, and Mike's like, so who are we voting for? Well, Dan. And Dan and Mike seems like, even in his confessional, that he believes that.
Right.
And I'm just like, why would you believe them? I mean, they have no reason to tell you who they're voting for. So I was just kind of surprised.
Whether he believed him or not, he can still use it against Dan to put a doubt in Dan's mind.
Well, he tried.
Do you think there's still a part of him that wants to go back to working with Dan, trying to get back in a line with Dan? I mean, Dan's a good person to take to the final tribal council.
The part that wants
I just feel like, personally, though, I feel like Mike still wants to work with Dan at the end. They were friends at the beginning. Dan doesn't trust him anymore, but at some point he wants to work back with him again at the end, because that's the one relationship he hasn't fixed. All the rest he's voted out. But that relationship, to me, Mike just seems like a personable person. I just think at some point he'd like to work with Dan at the end, even though it's not going to happen.
Well, I think he believed that it was Dan until he talked to Dan, because this is the first and only time in the entire show, all 13 episodes, that Dan did not say the patented, I cannot disagree with you. This is the one time that he didn't say, I agree with you completely. Everything you are saying is true. So one time, he finally stands up and says, you're an idiot. You are telling me a lie. All this is wrong. And I think that Mike went, wow, they must not be voting Dan, or he wouldn't be that, confrontational with me.
Right.
I just thought that was funny.
Oh, Dan.
Because normally, Dan nods and says his line.
I can't disagree with you.
I can't.
Yeah, I think Dan left the Carolyn meeting very confident and very satisfied the talking was done. And when Mike went to him, it just seemed Dan was tired of being told what was going on, being told what to do, being told that he could be saved. When Dan's like, there's no worry, it's all taken care of. Just stop. We know you won. We know you have the necklace. You're not going anywhere. Yeah. Just stop talking to me. I'm fine.
Yeah. He has the gall to tell me he could save me. Now, this is where, Kelley, that Mike was talking to Sierra and Carolyn. And he says, look over there and, that putting the fear into Carolyn. That's Will, Rodney, and Dan. That's the Survivor way of saying we're not worried, we're safe.
Right. He's right, though.
Right.
He's right, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, shouldn't Carolyn realize that she has upset Rodney twice? Well, I mean, she needs to understand that Rodney is not happy with her right now.
Yeah,
all right, Tribal Council, everybody. Everybody ready? Anybody want to say anything before we go to Tribal Council?
No, I'm ready for Tribal.
So,
we get. Did you cover Mike pointing out the Survivor code as to look at the two guys that are in the shelter?
Yeah, you missed that, David. What are you doing on your phone, texting?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What do you do, David? Huh?
I heard your phone ding.
Kelley and I pay attention whenever you're talking. You don't pay attention when we're talking?
Not when certain people text me. So.
Uh-oh.
Who's texting you?
No comment. We're not allowed to comment on that anymore, so no comment.
Okay, so Tribal Council, eh?
I don't have my phone either, so you can't tell me. Oh well. Be careful.
I'll give you two guesses.
People were saying we're biased because we get texts during the show. Go ahead, Kelley. What?
Oh, I just said I was ready for Tribal.
Oh yeah, Kelley's like.
Weren't you listening? We said that like 5 minutes ago, weren't you?
Kelly's like, I have a date in 10 minutes. Can we hurry up? All right. So,
no, but pizza sounds kind of good right now.
Oh, doesn't it though?
Sounds so good.
Let's ask Rodney a question.
Okay.
Maybe not. Maybe because he can't talk right now.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Yes.
Are we at Tribal?
Probst, day 35. Yeah, we're at Tribal. Day 35. Trust,
oh my gosh.
Oh
my god.
I haven't had a reward, Probst. No reward. This is fatigue.
I will trade my white Air Jordans right now just for some food.
That's right.
He got a whole melon. He's
I'd buy
fine.
myself a milkshake. Yeah. And Probst is like, man, we gave you a melon. Shut up. In fact, we even put extra antioxidants in it for your brain or whatever.
Wait, hold on. Can we? Okay, I'm sorry. I want to go back a second. The fact that you said that. Do you know that big tub of like electrolytes that Will got?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no way they've gone through that whole thing.
That's right. That is such a good point.
Huge.
That's right. And it was like 1 scoop per it was like 1 scoop or 2 scoops per jug of water.
Yeah. So even if every person did one of those a day, I don't know. Rodney, quit whining.
Maybe Will threw it out when he got mad. I'll show you.
He just like ate it all.
They probably finished it while Will was getting the surf and turf.
Probably.
That's a really good point, though, Kelley.
I'm just saying, like, where'd that go? There was a lot. It was big. It was a big tub.
Right. Not only did we give you melons, but there's that energy drink stuff out there.
Yeah.
Electrolytes.
Come on. Yeah. Come on.
So that was kind of an interesting moment. They don't. I'm sure that probably happens more than we know, but
yeah, maybe.
Carolyn, I know my head is on the chopping block, and Dan, not to be outdone, mine is also on the chopping block. And then he does his Yogi Bear imitation.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that was good. Rachel thinks that maybe they use the electrolyte stuff as fertilizer, and boom, you get melons. Just a theory, she said. Just a theory.
Very nice.
Maybe.
Very
Maybe.
Nice. Wow.
That's it.
All right, so not only did Dan do the Yogi Bear thing, but earlier in the episode, he did the gorilla imitation. Did y'all see that?
The frustration.
He has the gall to tell me. I'm sitting around. Somebody got mad at us because we teased Will and Dan for being big guys, and like y'all have room to talk. And I was like, dude, we laugh at ourselves for being big guys. That is what we would be like on the show.
We are the original members of the Manatee Brothers. So
yeah. When our kids came out and we were both floating in David's pool, they go, "What are y'all doing? Shut up, we're manatees. Leave us alone."
Manatee time, no kids, manatee time.
All right, anyway.
Oh, gosh.
So Dan's like, my name's on the block. Anything else before the vote? I mean, really, is there anything else we want to say before the vote?
Well, I had dropped that question on you guys. Could y'all think of any way to play this differently than how it played out for Dan? My thought, and Andy Baker had the same thought when we were talking today, was about splitting the votes, about going to going to Rodney and Will. He's got to stick with his final 3 and saying, look, we need to, in case something happens, we need to split votes because we can't vote for Mike, and Mike and Carolyn could vote for us. But at the same time, Dan did mention that in one of his interviews, it must have been the Rob one, that he was told that by Sierra that Will might be flipping, that she was worried that Will was going to flip with Carolyn and Mike. So that was the point behind Dan playing his 4th vote, to get 4 on Carolyn when they put 3 on him. But I thought he could possibly split the votes and get 2 on Sierra, and put his extra vote on Carolyn. So that would be 3 on Carolyn, 2 on Dan, and 2 on Sierra. Carolyn plays an idol, which I don't really think any of them thought she had. Then they still get a tie, and he's got to go down to a tiebreaker and hope that his alliance holds true, and which could actually go to rocks after that. So it was really tricky, but this is the time to play it in even numbers. So you don't really want to wait for odd numbers. I do agree with him on that.
Right.
I think the problem is that he, like you said, no one knew that Carolyn had the idol.
Mm-hmm.
So why would he even go in thinking that they had to do a split? They probably thought after Mike played his, and then who had played it before that? I don't even remember now. Someone else.
Carolyn played hers, and Mike played his before that.
And then Jen was the one before that?
Yes, Jen, yes.
They probably didn't even think there was another idol. Because I think that in some of the exit interviews, I think that they had assumed someone had walked out with it in their pocket or something.
Yeah, probably.
I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that's why. But I see what you're saying. I mean, that would have been a good play to do 2 and 2, and then yeah.
I don't know, just for the fact that he knows he's getting votes because he's the decoy. I mean, he's got to come up with some other plan. But I understood his plan of 3v3. If Will flipped and went with him, then that would be 3 for Carolyn. But I don't know. Yeah. So do you think on season 31, every bag's going to be open territory for anybody to go through? My goodness.
It's already open territory.
Yeah.
It will be. But you know what? People that know about the game probably don't hide idols or special clues in their bags.
Right.
And then go off for water. But yeah, has it ever been solved why he kept that in his bag? We don't know.
No.
I think there's a set of steak knives in that box. That's what it looked like, a steak knife box.
It did.
All right, so Probe says, I'll go tally the votes, and that is the exact time that Will just sat there while Dan said what Dan was supposed to say. Someone asked on the Facebook group, why did he not wait till later? He had to play it right after Probe says, I'll go tally the votes.
Yeah.
One of the 200 words that he says every show. So, and he says, excuse me, the advantage is played. Okay. Then, because this was not good enough, even though it was good, now Carolyn plays her immunity idol. And everybody, and you just see faces go, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Dan's.
Yeah, he knew.
Everyone's
I've seen some comments lately, right before we got on here, where people thought that Dan's move is what spurned Carolyn to play her idol.
I heard that too. When we were watching last night, some people said, like, oh, if he hadn't have been talking that way or something, then she may not have played her idol. I don't know.
I don't think so. Anyway. I think she would have had 2, because as good as she's been in challenges, she really just needs to win one more. You know, playing the idol gives her the chance to play in the next challenge. I think it's a guarantee that she has to play the idol. That was my feeling on it. Great editing, making her think like she was thinking about it, but no, I think she was going to play it anyway.
Right. Yeah, and they didn't show it, but she had to know that Rodney was out to get her. You know, and she also has to know that she is the next big challenge threat. So yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So let's see. We get. Where are we at? Oh, I love how excited Shireen gets. Mainly because for Shireen, she's a big fan of the show, right? So she's getting to see Tribal Council firsthand. That's exciting enough, but just to see all this cool stuff happen at Tribal Council, I just thought it's just neat to see such a fan of the show enjoy it so much. So I enjoyed that. Dan goes home, and I guess Carolyn keeps winking at Tyler, right? That's who she's winking at. They keep showing us Shireen after she winks, but she's not winking at Shireen. She's winking at Tyler. She has to be.
I would think so, yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, I nodded. I forgot it's an audio podcast, too.
That's okay. Dan says, I came out here to have fun, be remembered, and win. Well, you had fun, and you will be remembered. So here we go. Oh, Mike Holloway says, Mama C is a true competitor. Idol play. Come on, girl. You're sick. 3 idols successfully used. Good stuff. All right, Mike. Thank you for that. All right, we have some listener feedback.
Oh, yay.
Do you want to stay for that, Kelley?
Yeah, sure.
All right, good. I do have a question about season 31 for you from someone.
Okay.
Mike on YouTube. He says, "Hi, Kelley. You have to be back for season 31. Well, there you go. You have to, Kelley. You don't
okay, well, I hope so.
Yeah. Question, who do you think should have been included in the nominees for season 31 and why?
Oh, my God. Am I casting now? Oh, my Lord.
You didn't know that, did you?
Well, I don't know, but I do know that Jeff Probst had an interview come out today with Josh Wigler on the Parade magazine. And he had said something that the pool was like 75 people or something, and then they just kept narrowing it down and narrowing it down. So I'm sure they had a ton of people in mind. I know a lot of people wanted to see Greg Buis on that list, and he's not there. So I don't know. I mean, I think everyone's there that should be there, and I don't know. I mean, is there anyone that you guys really wanted to see? I think a lot of people wanted, oh my God, what's her name? Natalie Bolton. A lot of people really wanted her on there. But.
I wouldn't have mind. I wouldn't mind seeing LJ come back, but I noticed that there's already what, 3 from Cagayan that are already on there, all 3 from the Brains tribe. But no, I mean there's a lot of people I'd like to see come back, but at the same time you just don't know, who's going to play different, because that's what you want to see. It's got to be a different type of play, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah. Some of them might have just said no or didn't pass all the physical stuff.
Well, and that's the thing that I think people, like, some people are getting upset because their favorite isn't on the list, and, like, you have to understand, it's not necessarily production not picking people. Like, people have to agree to it. People have jobs. Some people now maybe have kids. You do have to pass medical. Like, there's so many things that go into it. So just because your favorite isn't on the list, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's because they weren't picked.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe Wigglesworth thought they were just asking her if she wanted to do an interview? And so she said yes, and then next thing you know, she's on the ballot, and she's like, what?
I don't know.
I haven't heard this interview. Are y'all talking about this interview where she doesn't seem as interested or something?
No. I'm joking. Like, she didn't realize they were actually asking her, does she want to be on the show again? Because she hasn't even said anything about Survivor in 20 years, and now all of a sudden she's on the ballot. I just was making a joke. All right.
So is Kelley willing to mention her picks on the air? If she doesn't have to, if she doesn't want to, but Rachel asked.
Wait, my picks for what?
That would
your
be
9 female and 10 male picks that you're voting for.
Oh, I cannot reveal those.
Okay.
I cannot reveal that.
I wanted to let you say that. I didn't. Yeah.
What I've told, my strategy, what I've said is that
she
obviously
it to me.
I obviously include myself every day, and then I kind of just rotate the other votes.
Oh, how fair is that?
Isn't that nice? See, I'm a fair person.
That's not what you do, Kelley. That's not what you do.
It's what I do.
It's
It's what I do.
You
I
vote
do.
for the people you think you can beat. You know that's what you do.
I would never do that.
I would.
But wait, you can't keep putting vote. If you keep putting votes on the same people, then that could bump them up too. You have to keep rotating.
The ones you think. Oh, I see what you're saying.
So she's voting herself and then rotating the rest of the group, so she.
Oh, okay. So your strategy.
Because then if I keep, yeah.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. Okay. All right, let's go to Tina, and in this case, she's in Virginia. So, David, go ahead.
I continue to enjoy this season, and my friends are always telling me that I should go on Survivor because I am the ultimate Survivor nerd. I listen to all the podcasts and am always searching for more Survivor. But because, like Dan, I am so very self-aware, I know that my reputation, if I were to go on Survivor, will be that of Dan's. I have had my ups and downs with Dan, and I separate my feelings for him in 3 stages. Stage 1. In the beginning was the heaven. No, I'm just kidding. Stage 1. In the beginning, I thought that he was a nerdy guy trying hard to play the game he loves, but was just not fitting in. When Dan realized he was not fitting in, he tried some comedy by losing his underpants and wearing the strange underpants. I like that Dan, was the type that can make fun of himself and realizes he is a little different. Then Stage 2. Stage 2 began when Dan changed up on me and began talking down to women and not liking my bro Mike. The women thing was like the movie Groundhog Day, and episode after episode he was portrayed as pompous, condescending, misogynistic old man. He was overly emotional about the letter from his wife and let that emotion cloud the rest of his gameplay. And then Stage 3. Stage 3 was when Dan just became a comedic character. I enjoyed his idiotic statements and enjoyed his delusions. At Ponderosa, he called himself a hero, which he was very serious about, and he jokingly hit on one of the female medical personnel after finding out he had lost over 40 pounds.
Yes, that was quite an awkward moment.
Dan, you should save your new self for when you get home to your wife. Although you may look better after losing the weight, but your personality has not changed.
Ouch.
Yes. I know, but he was jokingly hitting on. I'm sure. I can't imagine.
Well, he wasn't really hitting on her.
I know he was. I actually didn't hear everything he said in that video.
He's like, I know you've been watching me. I know you've been looking at me. She's like, really? I haven't. But
see, that's something I'd probably say if I lost 42 pounds. Yeah. I do like Carolyn. She is a player. She may have a tough time getting over the gossip against her at Ponderosa. And being a mama-type personality, she may not be able to live up to those high standards. And like most of America, I do like Mike. Dwaine and David, you guys are doing a great job. It is a good thing that you are getting some interviews with the eliminated players. Also, May is beautiful here in Virginia. Yes, it is. We had like 61 degrees today, and it was awesome. That was Tina.
So happy for you, David. Thank you. All right, thank you, Tina. That was good. All right, Steve from New York. That's right. Hello, D&D. Great show last night. Rodney going off with his No Food Awards speech again. LOL. Question: Was it Rodney's birthday? Was it Rodney's birthday last show? I'm not sure. From what I'm seeing, do you think Rodney was not trying at the immunity challenge? Oh, yes, it was Rodney's birthday last show. And I do think he's trying. Well, I don't know. Do you think maybe he's just kind of like, I don't even care and not trying? What do y'all think?
I think he's trying. I just think he's not enjoying himself as much as he thought he would right now. But yeah, I don't think he's done.
I must say it was too close at the end with Sierra. Maybe CBS editing? Yes. I wasn't comfortable at all. Now I'm shooting for Mike to win it all. He must pull a Terry Dietz to get to the final. He still has a lot of work to do. What do you guys think? What do you guys think at Tribal Council? Do you think Carolyn pulls out the idol if Dan doesn't use his advance? Yes, I do. People on Facebook are saying yes and some say no. Myself, I would play the idol. It is better to be safe if your name is out there, like Mike said before Tribal Council. If Mike says nothing before, maybe Carolyn doesn't use it. Now, I still think Carolyn uses. Funny, in the next week's preview, Tribe to Carolyn, why didn't you tell us you had an idol? And then she's like, you voted for me tonight, right?
Why would we tell you?
Yeah, LOL, I think Carolyn is teaming up with Mike after the flood of votes against her at Tribal Council. I think Carolyn's going to go with whomever is going to get her further in the game. I don't really think she cares that they voted against her. She'd go right back with them if she thought it could get her further in the game.
Yeah, if Mike loses, she's definitely anti-Mike.
Yeah. Can't wait to see what happens next week. Rodney Will makes the final. I love to see the Q&A then. Carolyn teams up with Mike. Keep up the great work, guys. And Kelley, I see you are on tonight, and good luck getting back on Survivor.
Thanks.
There you go. New York
Thank
graphic
you.
artist. All right. David gets to read Lou from New York.
We should have sent this to Kelley.
Yeah, we should have made Kelley read this one.
Why? Oh, no, why?
Lou's are full of puns. Lou's
Okay.
the pun master.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, Lou. He also titles his feedback, and sometimes he gives them two titles in case you don't like the first one.
Okay, give it to me.
This is titled, if you can't differentiate a blue collar from a white collar worker by his hands, it's called callous indifference. Or, I didn't mean to be mean, but I've got to be me, if you know what I mean. Those are his titles for his feedback.
Okay.
Chapter 1. No, just
Chapter 1.
No,
Yes.
number 1.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Kelley's
D&D.
like, just a second, I'm going to go order pizza.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I need to.
All right, point number 1. D&D, now that this great season is basically over, it really ended last week, it's time we have this talk, heart-to-heart, man-to-man, toe-to-toe, collar to collar. Clearly the blue collars won. Hello. They dominated the numbers, but does that carry any weight? Does it mean something that the blue collars won? What's this collared stuff really all about? If you think I have an answer, well, sorry, I don't. Or is it just CBS marketing? Number 2, also, we need to discuss why it's so hard for a Joe, a Tyler, a Mike to win, and why GOATs, identified non-threats, slip through to the end. Duh, that's an easy one, Lou. Oh, he talks to himself in his feedback, by the way. Okay, D&D, so here's a harder one. When is a threat a threat? Still too easy? Oh, okay. When is a non-threat a non-threat? You know that one too, right? Okay, here's a toughie. When is a non-threat a threat, and when is a threat a non-threat? Tick, tick, tick. I need answers. Do we need to consult a lawyer on this? Well, Lou, take it easy. Catch your breath. There just aren't any answers. And Lou, if you think there are, then you just really don't get this game at all. Dare I ask when an advantage is a disadvantage? Oh, skip it for now. Hey, D&D, white collar, blue collar, no collar, collared greens. My head is spinning rings around dust collars. Very distracting and so restrictive and so uncomfortable. Besides, they clash with my outfit. Got to be blind to all that collar blind, that is, to play this game, let alone win it. Wait, hold up, bro. Maybe there is an answer. Yes. I see. Anyone can win this game. But seeing clearly, maybe, just maybe, how to win. Seeing dollars under the collar is the only thing you need to focus your vision on. Dress, for success. Number 3. Also speaking of whining. Oops, I meant winning. I really win. I mean to be a winner. Like Mike, you win challenges. Just like sports and real life for that matter. Got to score to win. Sure, you can steal bases, maybe sneak in a little pine tar, but you have to score. No free lunches. Number 4, speaking of lunch, who's hungry? Rodney? Will? Sierra? Carolyn? Mike? Well, let's see. Rodney's hungry, but he seems to be belly aching too much. Will? Well, there's a will, but no way. Carolyn? Love you in that yellow bikini, but you're showing too much, flashing your cute little idol for everyone to see. Everyone's got their eyes on you and not the million, but we caught you peeking at the fat wad of money in CBS's pocket. True Blue, laid-back Sierra has cleverly manipulated the Survivor system with extended benefits with some dubious workman's comp claims. She's looking for overtime, but she might just end up getting laid off due to a lack of work. Mike is just plain old hot and bothered under the collar. Speaking of winning, number 5, does it matter who wins? Yes, but I can't tell you why. Maybe you can. Okay, if Mike doesn't, or should I say can't win, what can we say about this season? Goat Island? By the way, great idea for season 32. Think about it for a sec. Nah, this question does have an answer. What's yours? Discuss amongst yourselves. Well, D&D, good luck. Good luck. Good talk. P.S. Hello, Dan. Dan, are you there? Can you hear me? Sorry to see you go. Bring tools with you next time to Durham. P.P.S. Best of luck to the second chance candidates. Lose your mind and come to your senses. Regards, Lou from New York City.
Oh, Lou, I'm losing my mind. Don't worry. Don't you worry.
Kelley will never touch Twitter again after this week.
I have said, we can go back to that feedback. I have said to people, I'm like, my Twitter has got to be the most annoying thing ever. Just like mute. Yeah. Just mute me. I'm sorry. It's annoying me too, people.
You've got to feel this tremendous amount of pressure on yourself.
Oh, it's pressure. Yeah.
Now, are there any? I'm not really paying attention. Are there? Well, I don't follow everyone who's a candidate, but are all 32 going at it this hard, or are there?
No, definitely not. I think the thing is that everyone's kind of in a different category, right? Like there are certain people that I feel like will probably get on just because they were very popular in their season. You know, I just feel like they don't have to do much. I won't say any names, but people can probably off the top of their head think of a few. Mm-hmm. And then there's other people that, like myself, who, you know, I wasn't in as many episodes, so, you know, I'm having to be a little more out there and talk to people and let them know, like, you know, just like I'm not a boring person. Like, I'm sorry, I was only in 5 episodes. It totally sucks, and it goes back to editing, and they can't show everything. So I think everyone's having to do a little bit different campaigning, but I'm just trying to have fun with it. Like at the end of the day, I just want to make people smile and I want to have fun, and of course I want to go. Like I want to go more than anything. But if I don't make it, I want to at least say like I did everything I could.
You have to. I mean, well, do you feel like if you hadn't been such a presence recently that Survivor would have called you back, because you were out there, you were doing stuff with Survivor. And so your name was out there. I mean, do you think that
finalist for Miss Survivor?
Yeah, I definitely think that helped me. I mean, and the funny thing, or not the funny thing, but the reality of it is that I have always interacted with fans. I've always wanted to do podcasts. Like, it's fun for me. So, like, I'm not coming out of the woodworks now, like, begging people for votes. Like, I think people know, like, I've always answered questions. I've always, like, if people message me or DM me or ask me something on Twitter, like I always answer, and that's how it's been since my season aired. So I think people realize like I'm a genuine person and I'm a huge fan of the show, and so I just want to share that. So yeah.
Well, you know, we want to see you back on the show.
Oh, that's sweet.
I mean, we've been talking to you since your season, and it's been a lot of fun.
Take it as a compliment, because I hate Twitter. I mean, I really don't like Twitter. I use it to talk privately with people, but when somebody messages me and asks me a favor, I will happily do it, especially when it's a castaway. So I don't mind tweeting, and then I threw yours in there, even though you didn't ask. I threw one for you.
But you just rolled your eyes. No, I appreciate that. I do. Well, and I know your two favorite ladies came on here.
And all 12 people that follow me got it, so it's fine. It's good.
I tried to retweet it. Yeah, somebody asked David to do it. I was like, you realize you're reaching like 25 people. I mean, we're only reaching like 1,683 or something like that, but still, that's better than 20.
Every vote counts.
Every vote
I've
counts.
had people ask me, they're like, well, people may think because you were on a recent season, like if you don't make it this time, you'll probably get to go back. No. If people don't make it from this list, do you really think production's going to ask us back? No.
Exactly. That's going to say America didn't want
If
you.
America doesn't want you, production doesn't want you. So
That's right.
So people, get that out of your head. Like, please,
Right.
vote for me. I need your votes. Yeah.
That's right.
Anyway.
All right, let's do Andy. This is Andy from Missouri. This was a great episode with so many great moments, which I'm sure you will talk and laugh about, and an excellent tribal council. In the end, Dan played it pretty well, but Carolyn just played it better. I've seen theories of how Dan could have done better, though they mostly seem convoluted and unrealistic. I say well done to both of them. Now I want to reflect on last night's vote and what it means for us moving forward. As a recap, Mike and Carolyn voted for Dan, and the rest, Rodney, Sierra, Will, and Dan plus his advantage, all voted for Carolyn. However, Carolyn saved herself with her very impressively well-hidden secret idol. So what do we learn? Number one, this further clarifies our hit order. As mentioned numerous times, Mike is public enemy number 1. After this, it would seem pretty clear that Carolyn is public enemy number 2. We figured this was the case, but this vote out secured it. Thus, it seems likely that one of them will go out next. Barring some sort of insanity or act of deity, this means that 2 of the unholy trinity of Sierra, Rodney, and Will are all but guaranteed to make it to the final 3, and could all feasibly make it if Mike and Carolyn happen to go out in the next 2 votes prior to final 3. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. Number 3, of those 3, who is the likely next hit if either Mike or Carolyn is voted out? It seems fairly clear to me, though this is certainly up for debate, that that person is Rodney due to his incessant whining. This means we could very well see a split vote of Mike or Carolyn, with immunity voting with Sierra against Rodney, and Will and Rodney voting together against Sierra. Rodney gets 2 and Sierra gets 2. Mike, Carolyn, and Will re-vote, and Will has to change his vote to Rodney, as he would draw rocks against himself since Mike, Carolyn have immunity. Boom, Rodney's out. This gives us a final 3 of Will, Sierra, and whoever is left of Mike and Carolyn. 4, so if Mike is there, he wins. Game over. If Carolyn is there, I think it could be much more interesting, depending on how the jury reacts. It feels fairly safe to say that Will gets no votes, so I'll operate under that assumption. So here are the votes. Dan, oops, what happened? Could value Carolyn's gameplay, could stay blue strong with Sierra, especially since Carolyn voted him out. We'll call this undetermined. Jen, didn't seem to like Carolyn and could be a likely Sierra vote. Joe, seemed to like Sierra and could be a likely Sierra vote. Haley, the same. Shireen, well documented that she didn't like Carolyn, so there's another Sierra vote. Rodney, seems bitter against Mama C over the reward stuff and was in a good alliance with Sierra. Very well could be another Sierra vote. Mike was tight with Sierra, but of all the players, I think he would value gameplay and would likely go with Carolyn. This is far from scientific, but definitely shows the possibility of a Sierra win. How much stronger would her case be with the current jury against Will and Rodney? I made this argument last week, which was scoffed at as fan fiction, oops, of Sierra being set up as a possible winner. Based on what we've seen and what I've said above, I think she could be the number 2 person for the win behind Mike instead of Carolyn. Thoughts? Andy. Seems like reasonable assumptions to me. What do you think? Of why they would vote Sierra over Carolyn?
Well, I think Mike's going to win anyway, so.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter, right?
I think
speculation.
I think Carolyn can make a better argument than Sierra, and I think that would get her possibly an extra vote or 2 versus Sierra. We just don't know what Sierra's done because we haven't seen anything from Sierra. It's almost as if we hadn't seen her until like the final 7. But I don't know. I think Sierra, if she has a choice, wants to go with Rodney and Will. I think she feels like she can beat Rodney and Will. Because I think she sees how much Carolyn is playing, especially with that idol move she just made, voting out Tyler. Carolyn's just got votes, I think, that she would win. I think Mike or Carolyn wins if they're in the final, unless they're against each other. Right. But I just don't think Sierra could get the respect vote. I like Sierra, but I don't think she's done enough to get the votes to win.
Well, CBS hasn't shown us a lot of Sierra.
You know what's funny is all they've shown us is her thinking about making a move and not doing it.
Right.
Like that's all they've shown us. She's like, oh, I'm going to go with the girls. Doesn't go with the girls. Oh, I'm going to try and get out Tyler. Doesn't get out Tyler.
Right.
So it's like they're just showing us.
Right. Mike's got to go if he loses, but she votes the wrong way and votes with the group and goes Carolyn.
Yeah.
So I think Rodney goes after Sierra and Will and says, hey, we got to get rid of Mike or Carolyn, whichever one loses, and they do. And then it's the winner of that immunity challenge against Rodney, Sierra, and Will, and then that person wins, whether it's Mike or Carolyn, and then one of those three has to go. And I think it's Sierra. I think Rodney and Will are in the final with Mike or Carolyn.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Carolyn makes it to the final. I think it's Mike in the final.
Yeah.
So, that's my call.
We'll see.
All right, we only have one more. We have one more feedback. It is from Will the Giant Ninja.
Oh, Will!
Yeah, we all like Will the Giant Ninja. So here we go. Will the Giant Ninja.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. You all remember that old Nintendo game Duck Hunt with the gun that you shot straight at your TV to shoot the ducks? The reason I bring it up is that's the next 2 weeks of Blackhawks get the Ducks. But more importantly, there's only one episode left of this season of Survivor, the season that was supposed to be as good as Heroes vs. Villains, but ended up almost as good as Gabon. With Danimal's ouster, we're left with a final 5 of 3 contestants, Mama C and Mike. If Mike gets to the end, Mike wins, period. If Carolyn gets to the end and Mike is not there, Carolyn wins. And if neither Mike nor Carolyn get to the end, then I have no idea what Jeff Probst has been thinking. I suppose from his perspective, we've had 3 different people play a hidden immunity idol and not go home because of it. After so many years of people playing an idol when they weren't really in danger, we finally had it play out the way Jeff envisioned 3 different times. Maybe that really is what he saw in this season. These people came to play hidden immunity idols. Unfortunately, the most interesting aspect of this season was the extra vote that Danimal got, and we never really got to see it play out in a strategic sense. Dan basically just played it because it was an even number and it was time to play it. It didn't really change the game in any way, except maybe prompting Mama C to play her idol and sending Dan home, which is funny. That extra vote would have been much more interesting in a season like the first Blood vs. Water, where Sierra forced rocks at Final 6 with Hayden and Katie. That would have been interesting to see somebody use the extra vote to avoid rocks at that point. As it played out in this season, it was kind of just there, which is unfortunate. The other thing Jeff could have been thinking about this season is that we've never had a situation where an alpha male really did ride an immunity challenge run all the way to the end. We've had people get close, like Terry Dietz. He won 5 in a row. But I don't think we've ever had anybody with their back against the wall going to be the next out make it the whole way. I think the closest might have been Ozzy, or even Spencer a few years ago got pretty close. But nobody's gotten to that final tribal council in a situation where everybody knew that if he won his way there, he would win. If Mike actually pulls it off this year and wins the last 2 challenges to win the final vote in a landslide, I suppose in retrospect maybe that was an impressive season. But regardless, it's nowhere close to Heroes vs. Villains. Hopefully next season can be. Speaking of which, everybody vote for Kelley. Kelley with an extra E. And if you can't remember that, then vote for both Kelleys. Don't take any chances. All in all, this season has been more about the bad than the good. We've spent far more time thinking and talking about other Will's treatment of Shireen and Dan's comments to Sierra than we did brilliant strategic plays. And honestly, that just disappoints me. I don't like talking about Survivor for the bad. I like talking about it for the good. And there just wasn't enough of it this year. Fortunately, there is some good left in the game. Mike's been a hero all year. And ordinarily, I don't root for heroes. I'm a villain guy. But this year, it's all Mike. So I want to bring you the voice of my son, Michael, little Mikey, who wants to tell you who's going to win this year.
Mike's going to win. Go Mike.
Mike's going to win. Go Mike.
Oh my God.
Later, peeps.
Yeah.
Will at the Giant Ninja.
Jedi,
Okay,
the giant ninja.
Oh my God.
You talked over the ending.
I know. I'm sorry. I got so
Kelley.
excited.
It'll play. It'll play.
That was the cutest thing I've
That
ever
was
heard.
awesome.
That was
Hold
adorable.
on, I gotta hear that ending again.
What's up, guys?
Hold on,
It's
hold
Will.
on. I want to hear that ending again. That was just adorable. Hold on. All right, here we go.
Mike's going to win. Go Mike.
Mike's going to win. Go Mike. Later, peeps.
Yeah.
Will at the Giant Ninja.
Jedi, the giant ninja.
That was awesome.
That's adorable. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that was really cute.
See, there's something about little kids' voices that are just awesome.
It's so cute.
So.
Yeah.
Woo!
Well, he makes a good point. This is no heroes versus villains,
Right.
and I love that season.
Well, you know, part of the fact that Probst promoted this season so much as being so good does eliminate Will winning or Rodney winning.
Yeah,
or
there's no
Sierra
way.
winning. You know, I mean, it's got to be Mike or Carol. I guess maybe Rodney because he likes those, you know, those alpha males. But
Yeah.
But still, they're showing him whine a lot and stuff. So really, it's got to be Carolyn or Mike, and it's really got to be Mike.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I would think.
I think
So
I am more
what's your final
sure-
five right now? What's your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 from here on?
Okay, can I go first on this one?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right, final five. We got. I think Carolyn goes next. Then I think Sierra goes. And then let's see, that leaves. I think they'll give Rodney 1 vote, so he gets second place, or so Will gets third, Rodney gets second, Mike wins. So
I'm
I think
actually in
Carolyn-
complete agreement. I think Carolyn's next, and then I think Mike gets rid of Sierra at 4th, and then he wins over Rodney, and then Will.
Right. What do you think, Kelley? You want to go against the double D's here? Sorry, that's not what I meant.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That was the monster drink speaking.
Yeah, let me think about this. Sometimes it's hard to go against the double D's, but I'm feeling good about it. Gosh, Will in the final 3 is just like blowing my mind.
Yeah, but why would they vote him out now?
No, I know you're right, but what if one of the ladies wins an immunity challenge and then they bump out a dude? Maybe they bump out Rodney.
Well, I think
I don't know, so I'm going to say Carolyn, and then Rodney goes, and then it's...
Now that would make sense why we're getting season 31 so soon, because if a final 3 is Will, Sierra, and Mike, I mean, do we really need to read the votes?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the whole finale is going to be, and the winner is Mike. Now, season 31 voting.
Oh, you mean much like the San Juan del Sur finale? Okay, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
deja
Y'all
vu,
go
I
out
don't
and
know.
sit in the audience. We have nice reserved seating for you, season players. Now let's bring out the 32 contestants.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Kelley's like, yes, thank you, Lindsay, for warming the seat for me. Now go back and sit over there.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, you know, I'm wondering if we're going to get to like watch the show, because I had assumed we would be in the audience like watching, but I guess maybe now I'm changing my mind on that. I don't know.
Yeah, I bet you'll be back in the green room or whatever.
You're probably sequestered in a room like they show the castaways doing as they're watching the show.
Wait, no, they won't, because he'll want to talk to them during commercial breaks. You know,
He can go back in
Yeah.
the room.
like he'll go up to Kelley and go, so Kelley, what do you think's going to happen? And Kelley will go, well, as I told D&D.
You
then
see
he
this
goes,
shirt?
Yeah. No, they won't let you wear that shirt, I'm sure.
No,
But-
they really won't.
No, I know they won't. So, all right. Man, so second chances, y'all go out, vote for Kelley. Got to vote for
Yeah.
Kelley. And then rotate
You
on,
do.
well, vote for Kelley and Cass.
Yeah.
rotate all your other votes.
Yeah.
Because I like Kelley's idea. That gives them fewer votes.
I've always said if you have favorites, most people have like 5 people that they really want to see. Consistently vote for those 5, and then rotate your other 5 votes.
That's right. Or as who is it that said they're voting for Kelley with 7 different email addresses? Was that you, David?
It wasn't David. No, I get that all the time. But I don't know. Here's the thing: like, if it's coming from the same, what would it be? The IP address or something? Yeah. Would they not count those? I don't know.
Well, it's a login. It's a login. So as long as you have a different email address.
Huh. Yeah. Okay.
All I know is CBS has their own group of people voting for the thing that they want on the show.
Oh God.
We are hiring y'all to be fans.
I can't even say anything right now. I can't.
So here's Dwayne's one vote. Click. Here's a CBS person voting.
Oh my God.
Email number 465.
Oh my God.
Email number 466.
Today.
Wow, look at all these emails. CBS All-Star 1.
There's so much I want to say, but I feel like I can't, so I won't. But I did tag Jeff Probst with my video next to it, so you never know. Maybe he got it's only a minute long. So
hey, it's a great video too. And you even throw in let's see, what did you throw in?
The Julie granola. I love
yeah, Julie granola.
McGee's trail mix. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Where is Colleen Haskell?
Yes. And I'll wear a bikini. You use. Oh, I love that whole Colleen Haskell thing.
It's funny, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was very much.
Hey, Mike K wants to know how you think Jeff's going to deal with 2 Kellys. Is it going to be Wiggs and Went, or what's it going to be?
Well, I've already said that I just want to be called Wentworth. Like, forget it. I don't want any of that Kelley business.
Uh-huh.
And you know how much Probst would hate that?
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, you're a girl. Only guys get the last name treatment. You're not Culpepper or anything like that.
Yeah.
They've had seasons with 2 people's names though, so it's gonna be okay. Yeah, so it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah, and at least I'm blonde. She's a brunette. You know.
Yeah, you did kind of strike it good there with only 2 blondes in the whole mix. And
well, Abby is blonde now, but I'm like a true blonde. Like when I don't have my eyebrows are white people.
Right.
I had white hair as a child. I look like a boy. That
reminds me. So does Sierra have Sierra has painted eyebrows on, right? Is that what's going on there? Because her eyebrows are perfectly shaped.
Okay.
And they're different colors.
I think she has tattooed eyebrows, and Carolyn has tattooed eyeliner.
Yes, I have noticed that.
Yeah, I've heard about the eyeliner stuff. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
But I hadn't heard about the eyebrows. So that's kind of.
Well, Sierra's eyebrows look. It's like there's this tattoo and then there's eyebrows on it.
Oh God.
No, I'm not trying to be mean at all. I mean, I was asking because it's been throwing me off.
Yeah, you're right. It's true. It's right. Yeah,
okay.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. No, I think they're tattooed. Yeah.
Nice. Daniel says to be prepared that Probst may call you blonde Kelley. Just to.
Oh. Yeah.
I don't want to be blonde Kelley. I'm gonna tell Probst no.
You'll probably be on different tribes, so whatever color your tribe is, like red Kelley or orange Kelley or hopefully
no. Okay.
You'll be on the purple tribe.
That's for dozing off during Mike.
You guys are getting in trouble right now. Okay. Don't you dare. I refuse.
All right, I'll go vote for Kelley. We do want to say thank you to our monthly patrons, of which Kelley is one. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
and those of you who use our links to shop Amazon, both in America and California. Not California. What the heck? America. That is absolutely. I am so embarrassed and ashamed. I'm taking that one out. I'm actually gonna have a blooper at the end. All right, so let me start that over. All right. So seriously, thanks to our monthly patrons, and of which Kelley is one, and thanks to you who use our Amazon link to do your Amazon shopping in both America and Canada.
Okay. Yes.
stwdd.com/Amazon, or if you're in Canada, Amazon CA. So thank you very much. We don't have sponsors, so we truly appreciate our D&D patrons. In fact, we're having a patron-only podcast in June. What are we going to do, Kelley? If you're gone, you don't get to call in for the D&D patron-only podcast.
Well, just think of me. I'll be starving, complaining it's my birthday, and I'm washing dishes. So.
That's right. So, Check out our Facebook group, stwdd.com/Facebook, or look us up on Facebook. And if you like to read Survivor blogs, we have two good ones. Shayna Davis writes Shayna Says, and Alex Gomery writes The Players and Their Games, and Alex has agreed to come back next season and write on our website as well. So I'm very excited.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. You can follow me on Twitter at Survivor_talk. Don't follow David. He doesn't want you to. That's why I'm saying it. David's like, you can follow me, but I'm not,
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's funny.
So check out our other podcast, and we've got two of them, Movie Talk with D&D and Survivor Talk. So we've done Die Hard and Super 8. By the way, Kelley, those are getting, let's see, I think Die Hard is over 3,000 or 4,000 downloads.
That's pretty good.
So when you pick your chick flick, it better be a good one for us to keep up our numbers.
Oh, boy.
Well, you're wanting a new notebook, aren't you?
I honestly, I really don't want to do that. I would rather do something that's a little more, like, something with a little bit of humor. Because that movie is a little bit, it can be a little bit of a downer. Yeah, it's a good movie, but it does get a little bit.
Spoiler alert, they die at the end.
Oh my God! Dwaine,
you can't do that!
For everyone who hasn't seen the notebook, now you know how it goes. Yeah, but you didn't even, you gave it like a second. Like usually you do spoiler alert. Close your ears. You gave people 0.0 seconds to close their ears.
You say 3, 2.
Okay. Spoiler alert. 3, 2.
You've already revealed it now.
They both die at the end.
Oh my God.
Well, now I don't want to watch the movie. What's the point of watching the movie now?
You've already seen
David had never seen it.
What? Oh, whoops.
God.
I thought you had seen it.
David had never seen it. We talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Thank you for listening when I said that, Kelley. Thank you.
Oh, hey, my son showed me a thing on a Tumblr of all the different ways that Leonardo DiCaprio and that girl could have been on that piece of wood together at the end of Titanic.
Excuse me, that's Kate Winslet? You don't know the name of Kate Winslet? Oh, my goodness.
Sorry. There's all these different ways that they could have been on there and him still live. But
yeah, because she had the whole thing.
She did the whole thing.
I know.
By the way, David, at the end of
Spoiler
Titanic,
alert, the boat goes down.
3, 2, 1, the ship sinks.
Someone doesn't make it.
Oh, man.
Someone, yeah.
Yeah.
See, my spoilers are not, my spoilers at least still give you hope.
Yes.
Right. You just don't know who doesn't make it.
See, Dwaine, our chat room is abuzz now with your non-spoiler alert allowance of time because there are people that have not seen on the chat room.
I'm so sorry.
Wait till you get another iTunes review because I can tell you about what I'm going to say. I mean, what somebody else is going to say.
I'm just going to stop reading iTunes reviews.
Not only does he not talk about Survivor, he spoils movies I've never seen.
Oh.
You know what bugs me about iTunes reviews? See, whenever someone writes something, no.
Yeah, we should just end this right now. This is going in a bad direction.
All right.
Dwaine, you'll thank me later.
I'll thank you now.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
David
my gosh.
I need therapy. All right, it's
Put
been
the monster
1 hour.
down.
It's been what?
Put
Kelley?
the monster down.
Yes. Put the monster down and back your stool away.
You know, I will go back and listen to this, and I will say to myself, don't drink Monster during the show. I know I will. I know I will.
You shan't drink it again.
I shan't drink it again. Never again. I shall not drink it.
Yeah, but you're not getting the joke.
No.
Did you miss it, Dwaine? It's okay.
With all the fixings, you shan't drink it again.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I shan't wax fixins.
And on that note, Kelley gets the last word. There you go.
All right, Kelley, anything you want to say? Because we probably won't get to talk to you for months. And then when you get back, we won't get to talk to you publicly for months. So
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Are you gonna give out my number while I'm away? Like, oh my God, I should
No.
be worried now.
Oh, it's on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
It's on your overlay.
Spoiler alert. 874
555.
Oh my God.
Seriously though, Kelley, any final words to the
No.
15 people that listen all the way through to the end of the podcast?
I know. Oh my God. After all of our ridiculousness.
I know.
Just vote. I would love any votes are great. I don't even have to be your number 1. I'll be your number 10 on your ballot. I don't care.
That's right.
I just need your vote. So yeah. And you guys, you'll be watching the finale and you'll see me, and you'll either get a tweet from me saying that I'm drinking heavily, or I'll be gone. So that's it.
That's right.
So look forward to that.
If for some reason you don't get to go, be careful when you're drinking heavily. Be careful.
Okay, Dad.
Because we want to be able to talk to you again.
You'll see lots of pics, I'm sure, of the bitter 12. It's fine.
Yeah, the bitter 12.
If you thought Rodney was bitter,
let's just make that an official hashtag right now.
Yeah, bitter 12. Yeah, forget 30-30. We got the bitter 12. That's right.
Yes.
That is right.
All right, good stuff, guys.
Well, all right, y'all. That is all I've got. How about you, David?
I'm good.
All right. Say everybody. Say bye to everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.